Good morning, everyone. So today for my first video, I want to talk about when is a hobbit not a hobbit. Apparently, that is when we have a political message that we want to put out there and put hobbits in a show they don't belong in, and possibly they might have been told by, Amazon might have been told by Warner Brothers, don't use the word hobbits. We have the rights to that. You don't. I don't really know how the rights work on that, and that is something other YouTubers do think that is a possibility that could have been said to Amazon when they were making their Rings of Power show. I think it's very possible. But when these YouTubers have talked about Harfoots, they always refer to the prologue at the beginning of the Lord of the Rings, and what they're saying is true. Harfoots are hobbits. There's 3 breeds of hobbits. Harfoots are hobbits. And I'm not going to go back through what they said, but when I've been watching these videos, I have immediately been thinking to Appendix F of the Lord of the Rings, which also talks about this. Just to reiterate, to reiterate what they're saying, and to, so this will confirm what they've said, but I don't think they've really referenced Appendix F. They probably forgot about it. I didn't. And I wasn't too sure if it was here. I just had that thought in my head. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure Tolkien said somewhere that Harfoots were the first to be called hobbits. And I am right. And I will read this. It says, Appendix F, which is on language. He goes through and talks about the different languages of Middle-earth that the different races spoke. You have here, under the section of hobbits, the very last paragraph I'm going to read. Look. Alright. Hobbit was the name usually applied by the Shire folk to all their kind. Men called them halflings, and the elves Perianath. The origin of the word hobbit was by most forgotten. It seems, however, to have been at first a name given to the Harfoots by the Fallowhides and Stores, and to be a worn-down form of a word preserved more fully in Rohan. Hol Bitla. Hole builder. Now, as it says in the prologue, that the Harfoots loved to live in holes in the hills. And it was an old ancestral habit. Here in Appendix F, as I read, the Harfoots were the first to be called hobbits. So, Harfoots are hobbits. A hobbit is a hobbit is a hobbit. I don't care what anyone says. Now, if there's a rights issue going on and they have to say that, I totally understand that. That's fine. But Harfoots are hobbits. They don't belong in the show of the Second Age, because hobbits of all breeds didn't do anything. And so there's obviously Harfoot blood in the hobbits of the Shire. So I'm not sure if it says it somewhere that Frodo and Bilbo had Harfoot ancestors. They probably did, and so therefore they're still hobbits. And when you have these characters in your show and they still have the feet, come on, that's hobbits. Well, you know, it's the ancestors of the hobbits. Yeah, the 3 breeds were ancestors of the hobbits, but they were hobbits. Hobbit was a word that the Fallowhides and the Stores came up with, based upon the language of what would become the Men of Rohan, and they gave this name to the Harfoots. As I read, Hol Bitla. Hole builders. Because that was their, like Tolkien said, ancestral habit of building tunnels in the hills. And so, yeah, I just wanted to make this video just to add to what these other YouTubers have been saying. They are 100% right. And We'll see what happens in the Rings of Power, how much they abuse the lore, which, you know, Shadow of Mordor games already have done that a little bit. And to a smaller extent, Peter Jackson. But at least his doesn't really change anything. It just leaves things out. And so we'll see how they do this in the show. Anyway, what are your thoughts and comments on this? Anything else Rings of Power related? Let me know in the comments below. If you like what I'm hearing, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all later with my next video on the themes of Tolkien preservation.